Alright, so Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2. I actually still can't believe that there is a second film in this Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey franchise, and they're actually making a Pooh-verse, where there's going to be like Bambi, Peter Pan, all these fucking childhood classics, and they're going to turn them into these murdering fucking serial killers like Winnie the Pooh. The first Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, I actually reviewed that, was the biggest pile of dog shit I've ever seen. The idea behind the film is mental. It's very unique, let's be honest. It's one of our childhood memories, Winnie the Pooh going around murdering people. Yes, the concept is simple, but it's so unique in that no one would have ever thought of that. The first movie took itself so seriously. Everything was terrible, from the costumes to the acting to the story. It was just fucking dog shit. It was an embarrassment. But credit to the filmmakers here, because they have clearly taken on board all of the criticism from the first movie, and they have made a significantly fucking better movie. To the point I was actually surprised. This was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I really thought, yes, there might be a little bit of improvement, but it's still going to be an embarrassment. It's still going to be dog shit. But I was genuinely surprised. This isn't a bad film. So what this film gets right that the first one didn't, is that it plays into the fact that it's ridiculous. That first film was way too serious. All the characters just ran around brutally murdering people, and you couldn't laugh at it. You laughed at how bad it was, but you couldn't laugh at the fact that you were seeing Winnie the Pooh as a murdering fucking psychopath. But in this one here, they embrace that. For example, there's a scene where a certain character, I don't want to spoil anything, goes to hit Pooh or stab Pooh, and he goes, "Oh bother."
Oh bother.
Tigger in this film is on a murdering rampage, and there's like this girl wearing like neon clothes in this nightclub scene at the end. And he goes up to her and he's like, "Come here, you fluorescent bitch." I was with my mate and we were fucking dying during that scene. It's simple shit like that. Giving the characters little one-liners. Them making little insults. Whereas in the first, they were just stone-faced, didn't talk, and were just brutally murdering people. So they got the tone of this film right compared to the first one. There is still some tonal issues. It's a bit tone deaf sometimes, in my opinion. Like, you got Tigger and Pooh with those little one-liners. But at times, the film is just too brutal. Like Terrifier 2 level brutal. The opening to this movie made me feel so fucking uncomfortable. This girl is getting her limbs snapped one at a time. It's fucking sickening. But then there's scenes where Pooh and Tigger and Owl even, they're fucking making jokes and, you know, taking the piss. The guy that played Christopher Robin in this, Scott Chambers, who I believe was also a producer or director on this film, he was far better than Christopher Robin in the first film. And for a first-time acting performance, I believe, his performance was actually really good. Like, this Christopher Robin, he came off as sort of a socially awkward. He's been through hell because people think he committed the murders from the first film. So he's seen a lot of shit, he's been through a lot of shit, but he's still a super nice guy and he's going through it. Like, this poor fucker has already had all this happen to him, and then his family get absolutely destroyed in this film as well. So he just goes through the ringer, and his performance was actually pretty good. The costumes in this were way better than the first film. That first film, they were literally just wearing fucking overalls and a mask from fucking Target. It was pathetic. But in this film here, you can definitely tell the budget was upped a bit. They went to a lot more effort. They actually made these characters look like animals, not just like fucking grown men in a Winnie the Pooh and a Tigger outfit. They actually made it look pretty good. And the actual practical and visual effects here also looked pretty good. In the first film, all the blood looked like water with red food coloring in it. In this one here, it's a significant improvement, but a lot of the times in this one, just as they're about to kill someone, it will switch to like the point of view of the person being killed, or it'll go off cam, or you'll see a shadow, or you'll hear the effect of them being killed but won't see it. Where they ran out of budget or didn't know how to do it, I'm not too sure, but that was a little disappointing at times. But for the most part, a significant improvement in the visual department. And the actual story here was way better than the first one. The only thing I liked about the first one was the opening little animation they had. They had that in this one too. They explained what happened in the first one. And in this film here, the first movie is a movie within this movie. So they're watching the first movie in a particular scene, like on their TV, they're watching the first movie. And basically that first movie is based off of what happened to Christopher Robin's character in the first one, if that makes sense. So the first one does exist in this universe, I think. But in the first one, the story was basically the worst, most unlikable, dumbest, fucking, most stupid characters on Earth go into these 100-acre woods and just get destroyed by Winnie the Pooh and his mates. That was literally the first film. But in this second film here, you're following Christopher Robin and what he's going through. The fucking shit he's been putting up with for all these years for being blamed on the murders from the first film. And they actually try with the story here. You've got different locations they film in. They film at home, in the woods, in this nightclub. Whereas in the first, it was just in this fucking one little acre of woods. And that's literally it. So I'm definitely not saying this film is incredible. It's far from it. But if you compare this film to the first one, this absolutely shits on it. Like, it's hard to believe that these two films were made by the same filmmaker. The only difference is I think they had a different writer for this second film. And it definitely shows. But in terms of the filmmaking aspect of this film, it was just so much better than the first. And this is a film you can definitely watch and laugh about because of how absurd it is. You can definitely watch this with a group of mates and have a fucking good time just laughing. Whereas in the first one, you're just laughing at how fucking terrible it is and you just want to turn it off. So this one here is a significant improvement. As I said, hats off to the filmmakers here because they definitely listened to the criticism of the first film, pretty much all of it, and just improved the hell out of their movie. So I'm going to give this film a 6 out of 10. So if you've seen the film, let me know what you think, and thanks always for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.